Will we ever see the real Good Place? Fans have probably been asking this question since Season 1. Anyhow, it is real fun to watch the so-called brainy bunch trying to solve the issues of an afterlife over and over again. And what about their off-screen lives? Are they in the good place? Let's reveal how the cast deal with soulmates and moral code in reality. Whose first TV role was on The Good Place? Who got engaged on Twitter? And who is a real computer game geek? Let's clarify it right now. Kristen Bell as Eleanor Shellstrop. Describing herself as an Arizona trash bag, Eleanor in her journey of becoming a good person probably used the words bullshit and forking the most. And it was definitely not easy for her to tick the right boxes. But it seems like Kristen Bell doesn't have any problems with that. Bell and her husband, the comedian and actor Dax Shepard, are aware that their marriage is a huge inspiration for all. While they were dating, he surprised her on her birthday with a live sloth, and her ecstatic, sobbing meltdown went viral. The duo waited until the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage, and on the day they did, Kristen immediately proposed to Dax on no other place than Twitter. Kristen Bell knows people love how real she and husband Dax Shepard are, on social media and in real life. Still, Bell cares deeply about protecting the privacy of their children. She does not share their photos, and she stands up to paparazzi who try to sneak a pic of them. As open as we are, we've agreed to a certain amount of openness, and the rest is ours, and it will stay ours, states the couple. The pair always seem to be on the same page, although Bell says she is the polar opposite of her husband, and that's no exaggeration. We disagree on 99.9% of things, and we argue all the time, says Bell. The 0.1% of things they share, she notes, are crucial. We both have the type of brain that likes to be stimulated by the devil's advocate point of view, so it totally works. Dax has a bit of a different point of view. If I had to sum it up in one word, marriage is work, he said. And it's often uncomfortable work, but it needs doing or we won't stay together. Looks like Bell has found a way to make philosophy fun in The Good Place, has a model marriage, and still finds time for charity work. Bell's current list of charities covers a staggering amount of ground from animal rights to international child hunger. On birthdays, she and her friends prefer to furnish apartments for homeless people rather than going out to a bar. How does Kristen keep it all together? She answers, I know from the outside it can look like, oh, she's got it so together and has a career that looks nice and is doing all these things with these charities. But I am struggling to keep it together on a day-to-day basis, and I know that's what everyone feels like. Bell speaks candidly about her struggles with depression and anxiety. I like hearing that it helps somebody, and that will always drive me to continue to overshare, Bell said. She once admitted that her public image was too bubbly, too inauthentic, because it wasn't telling the whole story. She commented, it's a joke if you think everybody's not hiding some secret shame about being anxiety-riddled or depressed at some point, Bell said with a laugh. We're all there, okay? Everybody's crazy. It's not a competition. Anyway, Kristen continues to be a role model with all her great accomplishments and her will to share how it all really works. William Jackson Harper as Chidi Anagonye. Probably the best thing to do is to not force your will upon anyone else, Harper says. And I'll stop there, because if I say anything else, I'll probably disagree with myself within 5 minutes. When the actor got the iconic part, he shared an overview of the character with his girlfriend. And the minute she heard, she said, oh, well, that's just you. Always locked up and paralyzed and never sure what to do next. That's just you, man. He was not excited to hear that. Although, surprisingly for Harper, his quirky anxiety and charming moral backbone was accepted as both hilarious and lovable. In fact, the actor was so tired of previous failed projects that the audition for The Good Place was part of what Harper had deemed his last pilot season, as he was considering taking a permanent break from acting. The actor explained, I still liked acting quite a bit, but just trying to make ends meet was starting to consume my every waking thought. What happened next turned his life upside down. The show made him not only a star, but brought him a second family. I didn't expect to love my castmates as much as I do. I thought that we would all get along, but I didn't anticipate how much I would miss them when we're not working together. Aside from his show life, Harper turns out to be a real computer games geek. And Harper is a bit ashamed of his little quirk. Oh man, honestly, the video game thing, for a guy my age, I feel like I nerd out pretty hard. I have a buddy in LA whenever I go out. I stay with him. We got pretty deep into some old school role-playing games from the PS1 and PS2. At the age of 37, it seems like William has a girlfriend to attend to. Though he is far from making any official announcements, his social media posts speak volumes. They seem to suggest that he is in love with a girl named Ali An. Besides his current, blossoming relationship, there is no evidence about his previous love affairs. Similarly, there don't seem to be any whispers about him possibly getting married. Though there's one thing we know for sure, the actor's biggest love, as seen on Instagram, is his dog. Jameela Jamil as Tahani Al-Jamil. The self-obsessed Pakistani English character who is eternally jealous of her sister is played by Jameela Jamil, a 32-year-old British TV host who had never appeared in a scripted TV series before. "Oh god, I honestly had no experience," she told. Although, at the audition they asked me that question and I panicked and lied. I told them I had done some theater in England. Which was technically true. I had one line in the stage play of Oliver at primary school. I played his dying mother. I was 6 years old. And that was all! Can you believe it? She said that she had beginner's luck, adding that she never intended to be an actress. Jamil said Schur didn't give her all the details of the show during the audition process. The lines she had weren't even part of the show. Nevertheless, Jameela seemed to be almost an exact fit for the topic of the show. At 17 years old, Jamil survived a near-death car accident. According to the Daily Mail, she suffered several broken bones and damaged her spine. She thought she would never walk again and was stuck in bed for 2 years. Moreover, her teens were a real disaster as she was a total academic and very socially inept around her peers, constantly saying or doing the wrong things. Jamil explained, "I didn't really have a group of friends till I was 19, and I didn't kiss anyone until I was 21. It was a bloody nightmare. I am the only woman I know who loves getting older because it's another step away from my god-awful teens." For a long time, Jamil herself hasn't mentioned a boyfriend in her interviews. She did once write in Cosmopolitan that she fell in love with a married man before she knew he was married. "Married Men Will Only Break Your Heart" was the name of the 2015 column. "I didn't want him until he no longer belonged to someone else. And thank God, because 3 years later, they're still together. In fact, they've just had baby number 2 and are outwardly, at least, happily married." Who is this mystery man? Well, we still don't know, but what we do know is that Jamil has finally found her true love. Recently, on April 4th, 2018, Jameela astonished her followers on Twitter after she announced her 3-year relationship with her boyfriend, uploading a photo of him on Twitter. Jamil shared a picture of her and the one and only James Blake and wrote that they had just celebrated 3 years of their deep love and fulfilling relationship. They kept their relationship semi-secret for a while until Blake tweeted a photo of the two together. The caption was only 3 words, but said a lot more. In a 2016 interview, Blake's girlfriend was only referred to as a British comedy writer and actor. But later, he confirmed that his girlfriend is Jamil. Later, he said, "She was instrumental in helping me grow," explaining that she was an influence for the color of everything. Very often, you only make changes when you feel like there's something to save. That's an incentive to look in the mirror. Today, Jamil claims she's the happiest she's been in a long time. Maybe Blake has something to do with that. Maybe it's because of the happiness she's found that their relationship seems so strong. Perhaps it's both. Darcy Cardin as Janet. The Siri-like personal assistant who possesses all the knowledge in the universe would not have been so great without D'Arcy Carden. Before she auditioned for The Good Place, she, like William Harper, thought she was done acting. A month before the audition, she had this sort of epiphany. "Darcy, you're not gonna do the thing you thought you'd do, be on a TV show with a bunch of funny people. Those dreams you had are not gonna happen, but that's okay because you get to perform every night at the UCB." When she auditioned for The Good Place, she did not know a single thing about the show other than the fact that Mike Schur created it. At her audition, an older woman was after me, much older, and a 16-year-old boy was before me, auditioning for Janet. So they really didn't know what they wanted. A 16-year-old boy, who, by the way, is a genius. The actress was sure the 16-year-old was going to get the role, but the creators had another opinion. Darcy perfectly captures Janet's warm robot vibe, even though she struggled to find that perfect balance between human and robot, as she described, to not be too robotic and not be too human. It was just harder than I thought. Cardin is happily married to the producer Jason Cardin. The couple tied the knot after dating for several years, since the start of their college days. People who have witnessed the terrific chemistry between Cardin and his wife wonder how the two met in the first place. They were both cast in the same play in San Francisco, California, and found that they loved to hang out together. That's precisely what they did, and discovered that they were both suckers for Disneyland, among other things. They fell in love with each other and worked together in a couple of days before deciding to tie the knot. Today, they are practically inseparable and are still best friends. Jason Cardin loves the fact that his wife tweets regularly, and she is convinced that he would become a hermit without her. The two really are #couples goals. Manny Jacinto as Jason Mendoza. In The Good Place, Jason Mendoza is the show's sweetest and funniest and dumbest character. In real life, for Manny Jacinto, it turns out playing an idiot means taking your role very seriously. The actor says that he is a mix between Jason and Chidi. Obviously, the Jasonness comes naturally, but the Chidiness is the anxiety. Like, there are definitely times when I can just get too into my head. Manny is the youngest on the set. He is 31 and has the most to learn when compared to everyone else's life experience and work ethic. I think I'm the one that's like, oh man, I need to buckle down and focus and make sure I don't get fired. I'm not sure if I'm proud of that or what. Jacinto has a keen interest in dance, which started from the hip-hop classes he took during his college days. He even won a hip-hop dance competition and still enjoys dancing whenever he gets the chance. It is unbelievably shocking that Manny has not yet found anyone who he can call his girlfriend. News still suggests that the good-looking and charismatic actor is still single. Anyway, we hope that his love life works out to be as great as possible. Ted Danson as Michael. The happiest years of Ted Danson's life came after he let his hair go gray. Today, after 70, Ted Danson is back, starring in a hit comedy, but he has spent the past quarter century redefining himself. He tried it all, from a serious actor in dramatic roles in Damages and CSI, to an author and leading environmental activist. The one who helped him find his real self was Oscar-winning actress Mary Steenburgen. When they met on the set of the road movie Pontiac Moon in 1993, Ted had recently gone through a costly divorce from his second wife, producer Casey Coates, who he shares daughters Kate and Alexis with, and had ended his relationship with Whoopi Goldberg after 18 months of dating. And Steenburgen was a single mother of 2 children who came just in time when Danson needed to be rescued. I was a mess and a half, he admits, crediting therapy with getting him through that time. I thought, I'm incapable of being in a relationship, but I was working on myself. Ironic how life works in those moments. Once you throw your arms up and surrender, a lot of times things come your way. Danson credits Steenburgen with helping him quiet an undercurrent of anxiety that no level of fame or success can quite squelch. When asked to spill the secret to their happiness, Ted has only one explanation. I'm married to Mary Steenburgen. Indeed, after 23 years together, Ted and Mary are still crazy about each other. Creative passion is how Ted describes their relationship. I love her sense of fairness and right and wrong. And I don't think you're supposed to say this when you're almost 70, but she's very sexy. And what are your favorite characters of the show? Don't forget to share it in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Check out these other great stories from OSSA and subscribe for new videos about your favorite stars.